Yes, children, good morning. Welcome to the session of online teaching. Good students, today our topic is the word order. In English, how we use the word in a proper sequence. In order to speak and write good English, we must not only use correct grammatical forms and appropriate vocabulary, but also the correct word order. Got it? When proper sentence is this, when some group of words are there, we don't use the sentence in a jumbled order. We have to use them in a proper order. So for the perfect English, we have to use the correct word order. There are basic principles connected with the word order in English, and this section helps you to revise them. Let's see that rules. First of all, we will talk about the adverbs. Children, as you know, adverbs are of many kinds, like adverb of place, adverb of time, adverb of frequency, adverb of degree, adverb of these are the kinds of adverbs we use in the English. Now we have to find their place according to which order we have to use them in sentences. The word adverb suggests the idea of adding to the meaning of verb. In fact, it modifies a verb, an adjective or another adverb. Adverbs can be single words or phrases, like single words slowly, phrases like in the garden, on Thursday. It is related to time, it is related to reason, it is related to condition. So these are the adverbs. So it can used as a single word also, it can used as a condition also, it is used as a clauses also. And the term adverbial is often used to describe the both types. Adverbs follow a peculiar word order which will be dealt with in detail in this section. First of all, we will talk about the adverb of place, time and duration. We will talk about this. First of all, we say that it is used at the end of the, usually it used at the end of a sentence or clause. For example, while we were staying at the hotel, a conference was being held there. So at the hotel and there is related to place. So these are adverb of place and these are used at the end of the sentence. Then Mona joined our class last week. So last week is related to time. This is used as adverb here. He waited for an hour and then went away. So for an hour, this is adverbial phrase. So usually it comes at the end of the sentence. It can be used as this. The next is adverb of time and duration may be placed at the beginning of the sentence or a clause. According to the sentence, we can use this at the beginning also, like immediately after link. For example, last week he joined our class. Last week he joined our class. Last week at this like this also it can come, and last week he joined our class. This also can come. Then my sister who got married last year now lives in Patna. So यहाँ पे ये पहले आ रहा है because now lives in Patna is main linked word से पहले. So like this also it can be used. For an hour he waited and went away. Firstly we used it at the end. He waited for an hour and went away. Now we used it at the beginning. For an hour he waited and then went away. So before the link word it can used. These are the correct use of adverb. It can used at the end also, at the beginning also. But formation should be correct. Adverbs of place occasionally come at the beginning of a sentence or a clause. This is especially the case with the here and there. For example, here is the book you are looking for. यहाँ पे ये beginning में आ गया. I opened the door and there was my brother. तो यहाँ पे here and there when cases are there we use it in the beginning of the sentence. Then in written English, other adverbs of place can come at the beginning of a sentence or a clause. For example, across the sand flowed a small stream. At the bottom of the stairs lay a dead man. These all are related to adverb of place. So it can come at the beginning of the sentence. Got it? So these are the correct use of adverb of place, time and duration. Now next is adverb of frequency. Children, adverb of frequency are the subject to different rules. Such adverbs are often, fluent, frequently, generally, usually, occasionally, sometime and ever. These are related to the adverb of frequency के मतलब कोई काम कितनी ड्यूरेशन के लिए, कितने टाइम के लिए हो रहा है, frequently हो रहा है, often हो रहा है, generally हो रहा है, usually हो रहा है या occasionally हो रहा है, sometime या ever. So let's see the rules regarding that. First of all, adverb of frequency are placed before the verb they modify. For example, they always work hard. What they do? They always work hard. So work hard they are doing always. So always work hard को modify कर रहा है. So this come before that verb. She often leaves without permission. Leaves is a verb here. Often is describing, modifying that verbs. So it comes before that verbs. Then next is they are placed after an auxiliary verb or the modals can, could, may, might, must, ought. For example, Anu has often forgotten her pen. Has जो है आपका auxiliary verb है, उसके बाद आप use करोगे इनको frequency को. Has often forgotten her pen. They will never agree. They will auxiliary verb. So after that never is coming. Adverb is coming. I can sometime find some time for reading. I can modal, after modal it using. So after auxiliary verb and modal we can use the adverbs of frequency. The adverbs have to and used to are normally preceded by the adverb. जो आपकी जो verbs है have to and used to, ओके, दीज आर नॉर्मली प्रोसीडेड बाय द एडवर्ब कि इनके पीछे आपका एडवर्ब, इनके आगे आपका एडवर्ब ज़रूर आएगा. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, ही ऑफन हैड टू बोरो मनी, ही ऑफन हैव टू बोरो मनी. तो दीज जो हैव टू एंड दीज यूज्ड टू वर्ड्स आर देयर, इनके पहले आपके एडवर्ब्स आएंगे. अगर आप सिंपल ऑक्सिलरी वर्ब्स हैं हैज़ और हैव, देन आफ्टरवर्ड इट विल कम. बट इफ़ हैव टू एंड यूज्ड टू आर देयर, देन एडवर्ब विल कम बिफोर, मतलब उनसे पहले आएंगे. We always used to light a fire in winter. Got it? Now third one is they are placed after the first part of the auxiliary verb if it consists of more than one word. For example, he has often been used. अब आपकी auxiliary verb has been यहाँ पे use हो रहा है, but it will use after has. Been आपका बाद में आएगा. So if it consists of more than one word, it will use the first part of the auxiliary verb. जो आपके auxiliary verb का first part है, it will use after that. He has often been praised for his work. She has rarely been told that she is beautiful. So before the after first part it will come. Now next is they are placed after not. Not के बाद भी ये आ सकते हैं, like he doesn't always work hard. He does not always work hard. Then they are placed after the subject in question. Have you ever been to America? यहाँ पे subject जो you है in question form, interrogatives में. In interrogatives, your adverb will come after the subject. बिकॉज ऑक्सिलरी वहाँ पे पहले चला गया. यूजली हम क्या करते हैं, इट कम्स आफ्टर द ऑक्सिलरी वर्ब. बट इफ़ इट इज़ इन इंटेरोगेटिव, इंटेरोगेटिव में क्या है, इट विल कम आफ्टर द सब्जेक्ट. हैव यू एवर बीन, डू दे ऑफन कम टू सी यू, इट विल नॉट कम हेयर आफ्टर ऑक्सिलरी, इट विल कम आफ्टर द सब्जेक्ट इन इंटेरोगेटिव. Certain other adverbs obey the same rule as adverb of frequency. Almost, already, also, hardly, just, merely, nearly, not only, quite, rather, scarcely, soon, still and therefore. These are some verbs which are also, these are adverbs also used following the rules of frequency. Like he had almost finished his meal. He had आपका auxiliary है तो after that will come. He has quite forgotten the appointment. He is still trying to enter the university. So after auxiliary these are coming. Already and soon can also come at the end of the sentence or a clause. For example, we have already met him. We have met him already. After auxiliary it can also used, but at the end of the sentence also it can be used. Like we have met him already. We will soon reach the town. Here it comes after the auxiliary. We will reach the town soon. So it can come at the end of the sentence also. Now note that after scarcely or hardly, as with all the negative adverbs at the beginning of a sentence or a clause, we use the question order. Auxiliary, subject and verb. अगर हमारे पास scarcely और hardly word आ रहे हैं, ठीक है, तो it will become in the starting, then उसके बाद हम auxiliary, subject और verb यूज़ करेंगे. For example, scarcely had the rain stopped when the players went into the field. scarcely के साथ हम when यूज़ करते हैं और scarcely के बाद हम auxiliary verb यूज़ करेंगे. देन जो आपका सब्जेक्ट आएगा एंड देन वर्ब विल कम. तो यहाँ पे हम इंटेरोगेटिव फॉर्म जो क्वेश्चन फॉर्म है दैट वी विल यूज़. पहले ऑक्सिलरी, देन सब्जेक्ट एंड देन वर्ब, जब हमारे पास स्कार्सली और हार्डली आ रहे हैं. प्लीज़ नोट दैट पॉइंट. स्कार्सली हैड द रेन स्टॉप्ड व्हेन द प्लेयर्स वेंट इनटू द फील्ड. Then hardly had the car started when something went wrong with the engine. So these are the words when you have to use the question form. पहले auxiliary, फिर subject and then verb. और उससे पहले हमने क्या लगाना है? Adverbs hardly or scarcely. Then fourth one is when the answer to the question how often is an adverbial phrase or clause giving the number of times an event occurs. The adverbial phrase or clause comes at the end of the sentence or a clause for emphasis at the beginning. Example of such phrases and clauses are every 6 months, every other day, twice a month, as often as you wish, every hour, as many times he wants to. Then we have a test every 6 weeks. She visits her aunt twice a month. We play football every other day. तो ये जो आपके adverbial phrases हैं, तो इनको हम कहाँ पे we use at the end of the sentence. Sometime for focusing or for emphasizing we can use it at the beginning. Like every 6 months, every 6 week we have a test. यहाँ पे हम उसको focus कर रहे हैं every 6 week. तो then we can use it at the beginning. But usually it comes at the end. Stressed adverb, अब stressed वाली again, if the adverb is stressed, it may be placed elsewhere in the sentence. अगर हम adverb को ज़्यादा stress देना चाह रहे हैं, we have to focus on that. We can place it anywhere. Like before the auxiliary, he always has done his best. Means यहाँ पे हम always को यहाँ पे stress कर रहे हैं, तो that's why it used before the auxiliary. Often can come at the end of the sentence. He visits us often. तो यहाँ पे often को हम stress कर रहे हैं. That's why we are using it at the end. Never can come at the beginning. Never have I met such a foolish person. So जब हम never at the beginning of the sentence ले रहे हैं, we have to use the question form. Means firstly never, then auxiliary verb, then subject and then verb. Got it? So these rules you have to carefully keep in your mind how to use these order. Now our last is there adverb of manner. How we use adverb of manner? In a sentence with the help of the verb in active form, an adverb of manner comes at the end. Adverb of manner comes at the end. He painted the picture very badly. If the verb is in passive voice, अगर हम active voice में चल रहे हैं, then it will comes at the end. But if we are in the passive voice, it is more usual to put the adverb of manner before the participle. तब हम participle से पहले इसको use करेंगे. For example, the picture was very badly painted. Means very badly को हम main verb से मतलब पहले लगाएंगे, main verb जो आ रही है यहाँ पे, and this is the passive voice. Active voice में it will come at the end, but in passive voice it will come before that. The goods have been carefully packed. So carefully packed ये उसकी quality भी बता रहे हैं ना, so that's why these are used as a participle here, but the adverb will come before that participle. So that's all for today's session, children. Please go through the chapter carefully and try